Part 1. Seattle, Summer 2015. The air that night smelled like freedom and gasoline. For the first time in 3 months, I wasn't grounded. Mom's curfew finally lifted. No probation officer. No check-in calls. No GPS tracker app on my phone. Just me, my guys, and the whole damn city breathing under neon. I remember standing outside the SkyJump Arena parking lot. My reflection warped on the hood of Mason's beat-up Subaru. The trunk rattled with bass, EDM thumping from the inside. SkyJump looked alive in the distance. Giant glass walls glowing pink and electric blue. Fog machines hissing near the entrance. Kids bouncing under laser lights like human fireworks. Make tossed me a cold can of beer from his backpack. Freedom toast. He grinned. I cracked it open. The hiss sounded like the start of a good mistake. Lucas, Tyler, and No whooped behind us, their laughter cutting through the night air. For a moment, it felt like we were all invincible. 5 16-year-olds with nothing but energy and bad decisions. Yo, you sure your mom's cool with this? Lucas asked me. I shrugged. She's working a night shift. As long as I'm not in a cell, she's cool. Make snorted. Guess that's progress. We drank, half hiding behind the Subaru. The lot smelled like wet asphalt and cheap beer. The lights from the SkyJump sign flickered over our faces. SkyJump Arena, open till 1 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays. The name glowed like a promise. Inside, the noise hit me first. Bass lines pounding, trampolines squeaking, people yelling over the music. The place looked like a rave disguised as a playground. Black lights, fog machines, blue strobes bouncing off hundreds of sneakers midair. We tossed our bags into a locker and headed toward the war zone, a section only for 16 and up. A sign read, "Enter at your own risk." No mercy, no whining. Perfect, Make said. The war zone was chaos. Giant foam pits surrounded by dodgeball cages and raised tramp walls. Dozens of kids battled for dominance on the King of the Hill platform at the center, a raised trampoline dome under a red strobe light. That's when we saw them. Jax Harlan, Jax. The name alone was enough to make half the school flinch. Platinum blonde undercut, muscles like he was already 20, tattoos creeping up his neck, a snarling wolf and barbed wire. 3 of his guys circled him. Riley, Connor, Dylan, all wearing black tank tops like they'd coordinated for a fight. They had claimed the highest platform, shoving anyone who dared challenge them. Make elbowed me. Look who decided to ruin the vibe. I sighed. Ignore them. We came to jump, not die. But ignoring JX was like ignoring a shark in a swimming pool. The second he spotted us, he smirked. Well, look who it is, he said, voice cutting through the music. The rehab squad. A few heads turned. I felt the heat rise behind my ears. Make grinned back, fake friendly. Didn't know they let steroid junkies in here. Cute, JX said, dropping down from the platform. The impact of his landing shook the floor. What's in your bag? Make? Training wheels. Tyler muttered under his breath. Let's just go to the foam pit. But JX took another step closer, eyes flicking over me. You're Carter, right? The thief kid. The words hit harder than I wanted to admit. Was? I said. Sure. One's a thief, always a thief. Something twitched inside me. Something small, reckless, stupid. But before I could say anything, Meg beat me to it. You wanna test that theory, wolf boy? That got JX's attention. He laughed, loud and sharp. All right, Meg. Let's play. He crouched low, bounced once, and launched himself into the air. His boots slammed the trampoline near our feet, the force throwing all of us backward. Lucas flew higher than he should have. His head caught the edge of a steel bar above the foam divider. The sound was wet and raw. He fell limp into the pit. Holy crap. No yelled. Lucas, you okay? Blood trickled from Lucas' hairline, dripping into the white foam below like red dye. JX grinned down at us. Guess not. We hauled Lucas out, dizzy but conscious. His head was bleeding, but he managed a weak smile. Just a scratch, he muttered. His voice shook. Tyler wanted to leave. We should go. He needs stitches. But Make wasn't having it. Nah, screw that. He did it on purpose. He looked at me, waiting for me to agree. I didn't. Not yet. The music thumped on. The lights kept flashing. Around us, people were still laughing, jumping, living in their own worlds. No one had really noticed. We moved to the foam pit section, hoping JX would get bored. I could feel my ribs tighten with every breath, part fear, part adrenaline. Make paced the edge of the pit, muttering, "Guy thinks he owns this place. Always walking like his dad's god." "His dad's the police chief," Tyler said quietly. "Exactly." I glanced back toward the hill. JX was still watching us. Even through the strobe lights, I could feel that stare, cold, entertained, dangerous. The pit smelled like sweat and sanitizer. Kids were flipping into it, climbing out, laughing. But for me, everything slowed. My heart was pounding in my ears. Then JX jumped down again, this time with purpose. Riley and Dylan followed. They landed a few trampolines away, bouncing closer with each jump. "Yo, Ethan," JX called, voice echoing across the pit. "You gonna hide behind your babysitter all night?" I clenched my fists. "Back off, JX." He smirked. "Or what? You'll steal my car?" Laughter. His friends joined in. Make's jaw flexed. "Say that again." JX tilted his head. "Why? You deaf or just stupid?" He launched himself up to the diving platform above the foam pit. From that height, he looked like something out of a nightmare. Lit in red, sweat shining on his neck tattoo. He bounced once, twice, then kicked Tyler's shoulder as he passed. Tyler lost balance and fell, screaming, into the pit. Before I could react, JX dropped straight down after him. His landing crushed into the foam, knocking me backward. Pain exploded through my chest. I realized I'd been caught under two bodies. A sharp crack shot through my ribs. I gasped, bile rising. Beer and acid burned my throat. The world spun. The lights felt too bright. My friends' voices blurred. All I could hear was JX laughing. He climbed out of the pit like nothing had happened. "You okay, Carter?" he asked, mocking. "You look pale." I pushed myself up, ribs screaming. "You're insane." He shrugged. "Maybe. Wanna test me?" The way he said it, casual, bored, hungry, lit something inside me. But before I could move, Meg grabbed my arm. "Don't," he hissed. "That's what he wants." JX smirked. "Yeah, listen to your girlfriend." That broke it. I took a step forward, teeth gritted. The music drowned out everything else. For a second, all I saw was JX, his grin, his silver rings, the wolf tattoo flexing with his neck. And then, he extended his hand. "Relax," he said. "Let's call it even, all right." His tone was light, almost friendly. But his eyes said otherwise. Part to the night collapses. His hand hung in the air between us, silver rings catching the red light. For a second, I almost believed him. Maybe he just wanted to call it off, end the stupid game before it got worse. Then, just as my fingers brushed his, bam! A flash of silver and pain. My cheek exploded in heat. The impact rattled my skull so hard my vision went white. The bastard had tasked me with his hand, rings, metal, and muscle all at once. I stumbled back, tasting iron. My glasses hit the floor and vanished underfoot. Someone yelled, "Yo, chill," but it all blurred together. The music, the lights, the screaming inside my head. When my vision snapped back, JX was laughing. Laughing. Something inside me cracked open. I lunged. Didn't think. Didn't breathe. Just moved. My first punch caught him on the jaw. The second hit the nose, crunching cartilage. The third, God help me, the third landed on his temple. Everything slowed. His head snapped sideways, eyes blank for a heartbeat before he fell backward off the edge. He didn't bounce. He slammed. The sound that came out of him wasn't human. A dull thud against steel, then silence. The lights kept strobing, red, white, like a crime scene already on repeat. For a moment nobody moved. Then Dylan screamed, "Jax!" The music cut. The crowd gasped. Someone shouted, "Turn on the lights." Jax lay still on the foam pit's edge, one arm bent under his body, blood seeping around the corner of his head. His eyes rolled back, mouth open but empty. I froze. My hands were shaking, smeared with blood that wasn't mine. Meg grabbed my shoulder. "Ethan, we gotta go." He's not. Now. Bro. Now. Then all hell broke loose. People started screaming, running in every direction. The DJ killed the sound system. Alarms shrieked through the speakers. A red emergency light began flashing above the exit. "Everyone out. Everyone out," a staff member yelled into a megaphone. Riley shoved through the chaos, eyes wild. "You killed him." I stumbled backward, heart hammering. He hit me first. Riley didn't care. He lunged, swinging wild. Meg stepped in front, his small folding knife snapping open in his hand. "Back up, psycho." Dylan froze. For a split second, nobody breathed. Then Meg slashed through the air, not to hit, just to scare. And Riley stumbled away, shouting curses. The alarm grew louder. Smoke poured from a broken fog machine. People tripped over trampolines trying to reach the doors. My ribs ached so badly I could barely stand. I could taste blood and beer and panic. "Ethan, move," Meg yelled, yanking me toward the side door. We sprinted past the concession counter, shoving through a maintenance hallway marked staff only. My breath came in ragged bursts, echoing off the walls. Behind us, someone was shouting orders, security guards, maybe cops. A glowing red exit sign appeared ahead. Meg kicked the door open, and we were out. The cold hit me like a slap all over again. We burst into the alley behind the arena. Dumpsters, neon reflections on wet concrete. The bass from inside muffled now like a heartbeat under the ground. Sirens in the distance. Not far. Too close. "Come on," Meg said. Cut through the trees. Behind SkyJump Arena stretched a small patch of forest, a buffer zone between the city's industrial edge and the I-5 highway. We darted through a break in the fence, branches scraping our faces. I looked back once. The arena glowed behind us like a burning ship, red strobes and blue lights flickering through fog. Shadows of people running. Someone shouting my name. Maybe a cop, maybe just my mind. We plunged deeper. The forest smelled of wet pine and all. The ground was soft with needles. My lungs burned. Every step sent knives up my ribs. "Jesus, Meg," I wheezed. "We should have stayed." "Stayed? You want to explain this to his dad?" My chest tightened. I knew he was right. JX's father wasn't just anyone. He was Chief Harlan, the head of the West District Police. The man whose squad had cuffed me 9 months ago for stealing that stupid bike. The man who already hated me. We dug behind a fallen log as the first patrol cars pulled up near the parking lot. Flashing blue and reds painted the trees. "Shit," Meg whispered. "They're fast." "Of course they are," I said. "His dad's the damn chief." We stayed still, crouched in the dark. My breath came out in short, shallow bursts. Somewhere back near the building, I heard dogs barking. "You hear that?" "Yeah," Meg said. "They brought K9s." My stomach dropped. He turned to me. "Listen, if they find us." "They won't." "If they do, I've got priors for carrying. You've got a record for theft. They'll lock us both up." I didn't answer. Couldn't. The dogs barked again, closer this time. Meg grabbed my sleeve. "Up the tree. Now." We scrambled up the trunk of a thick pine, sap sticking to our hands. My ribs screamed in protest. At about 20 feet up, we settled into a fork between branches, barely balanced. Below, flashlights swept the forest floor. Voices, deep, authoritative, practiced. Area clear on the north side. Unit 4, bring the dogs around back. Keep your eyes open. Chief wants this wrapped fast. My pulse thundered in my ears. From up there, the world felt unreal. Like a video game turned nightmare. Blue lights flickered through the fog. The wind carried snippets of radio chatter. One of the dogs stopped beneath our tree, sniffing, whining. Don't breathe. Make haste. The dog barked once, twice, then another officer called it off. Footsteps receded. We sat there, frozen, for what felt like an hour. My muscles burned. My ribs felt like splintered glass. Finally, the lights began to move back toward the arena. Make exhaled. We gotta move before they sweep again. I nodded weakly. Where? Anywhere but here. He climbed down first, landing quietly. I followed, slipping halfway, catching a branch with my arm. Pain shot up my side. Make turned. You good? Yeah. I lied. We crept toward the edge of the woods, moving slow, low. The sirens had faded, replaced by the distant hum of freeway traffic. When we reached the fence line, Make whispered, "There's a drainage ditch past that. Cross it. We're clear." We ran. Branches whipped my face. Mud splashed up my legs. Somewhere behind us, a dog barked again, fainter now, but enough to make my heart spike. We reached the ditch, a deep concrete channel half filled with stagnant water and trash. "Go!" Make shouted. I jumped, hit the other side awkwardly, my ribs screaming. Make followed, landing with a grunt. The roar of traffic from I-5 drowned out the rest of the world. The city lights blinked through the trees like stars in motion. We followed the ditch for maybe a mile until my legs gave out. Finally, Make spotted a small structure ahead, a maintenance shack or an old storage hut by the freeway. Its roof sagged, one light flickering inside. We forced the door open. The smell hit first, dust, oil, and rot. Inside was dark except for the moonlight spilling through a cracked window. We collapsed against the wall. For the first time since the slap, I let myself breathe. For a long minute, neither of us spoke. Then Make said, softly, "He's not dead. Right?" I didn't answer. I mean, he looked bad, but people fall, you know? He probably. Make. My voice cracked. I hit him. I hit him. He looked at me, eyes wide but calm. "You defended yourself." He started it. Everyone saw. I should have stopped after the first punch. Maybe. But you didn't. And now we deal with it. I stared at my hands, still stained dark in the dim light. My knuckles were split, tiny threads of blood dried along the cuts. Outside, the night hummed with freeway noise and distant sirens. I felt it then, the shift. That exact second when adrenaline fades and reality takes over. The weight of what I'd done hit me like gravity returning. Make pulled a half-crushed phone from his pocket. No service. He smacked it once, twice. "You got yours." I shook my head. Battery died at the arena. Figures. He tossed his bag aside and sat down beside me. We wait an hour. Then we move. Time passed weirdly inside that shack. My ribs throbbed. The buzzing fluorescent light above us flickered like it was breathing. I closed my eyes for a moment. All I could see was JX's face, surprised, then gone. When I opened them again, Make was staring out the window. His expression changed. "Crap," he whispered. I crawled beside him. Outside, through the trees, more flashlights flickered. New ones. Closer. "They're sweeping this side now," Make said. "What do we do?" He swallowed hard. "You run." "What?" "They catch us both. I'm done." I got the knife. "They'll call it intent. You can maybe get out clean. Just go when I tell you." I shook my head. No, I'm not leaving you. He grinned, teeth flashing in the half-dark. You think I'm giving you a choice? Before I could react, he kicked over a metal trash bin near the doorway. The noise was thunder. The flashlights turned instantly toward us. Over here, a voice shouted. Meg shoved me toward the back window. Run, Ethan. He bolted out the front, crashing into the trees, shouting nonsense to draw attention. I hesitated, just 10 seconds, but it felt eternal. Then I crawled through the window, dropped into the mud, and ran. Behind me, I heard dogs barking again, boots pounding through the brush. The forest swallowed me whole. Part 3: The Reckoning. Branches slapped against my face as I ran. The forest blurred into streaks of shadow and sound, sirens, dogs, my own heartbeat crashing against my ribs. The mud pulled at my shoes. One came off, but I didn't stop. Every breath burned. Every step felt borrowed. I could still hear Meg yelling somewhere behind me, his voice breaking through the trees. He was leading them away. Buying me time. Come on, come on, I muttered to myself, stumbling through a patch of wet brush. The ground dropped suddenly, and I slid down a slope of moss and dirt straight into a drainage trench. Cold water swallowed me to the knees. The shock ripped the air from my lungs. Above me, flashlight beams cut through the fog like knives. Voices shouted, "Closer now." I pressed myself against the concrete wall, barely breathing. My ribs screamed with each inhale. The dogs barked again. One of them whined, sniffing near the top of the trench. "Check down there," a voice ordered. I closed my eyes. My heart pounded so loud I thought it might give me away. Then, thunder. A freight truck roared past on the freeway above. The noise drowned everything. When it faded, the flashlights were gone. I waited another minute before crawling forward along the ditch, wincing with each move. My phone was dead. My hands were raw. The adrenaline that had carried me this far was fading fast, leaving only pain and disbelief. JX's face kept replaying in my mind. The moment his head hit the edge, the way the laughter stopped. I kept seeing it even with my eyes open. The ditch eventually spilled out near the I-5. Cars hissed by, their lights streaking through the mist. I climbed the embankment barefoot and crossed when a gap opened, sprinting through the roar of engines. A horn blared as a truck swerved. The whine nearly knocked me off my feet. I made it to the other side, breathless, trembling. A small warehouse sat beyond the fence, its windows shattered, roof half-caved in. It looked abandoned. Perfect. I forced the door open and slipped inside. Dust and rust. Broken pallets. The faint smell of motor oil. Moonlight streamed through a crack in the ceiling, turning everything silver. I sunk to the floor and finally let myself feel it. The pain, the fear, the guilt. My hands shook so badly I dropped the phone when I tried to turn it on again. It buzzed weakly, 4% battery left, 1 bar of signal. I didn't think. I called Mom. She picked up on the second ring. "Ethan? Oh my God, Ethan, where are you?" Her voice was cracked with panic. "Mom, I messed up. Where are you?" They said, "Oh God, they said you hurt someone." I didn't mean to. He hit me first. I swear. I didn't know. He just fell. She was crying. I could hear hospital sounds behind her. Intercoms, someone paging a nurse. "I'm at the precinct, baby. Chief Harlan's here. They're saying Jackson's in surgery. Skull fracture. You have to come in right now. Please. Don't make this worse." The line cut, battery dead. I sat there in the dark, shaking. Outside, the night was quiet again. No sirens. No dogs. Just the hum of traffic and the drip of water from the ceiling. At some point, I must have drifted off. When I woke, the first light of dawn was leaking through the warehouse cracks. My clothes were stiff with dried mud. The pain in my ribs had turned into a dull, steady ache. My throat felt like sandpaper. I thought about running again. But to where? Every direction led back to what I'd done. So I walked. barefoot, limping, through the empty industrial streets until the Seattle skyline rose out of the mist. I reached the police station a little after 5. The sun was just breaking over the buildings, cold, pale, unforgiving. 2 officers met me at the steps. One of them recognized me. "Carter," he said quietly. "Come on." Inside, the air smelled of coffee and disinfectant. Mom was there. She rushed to me before anyone could stop her, arms wrapping around my shoulders. I felt her shaking. "Oh, baby, what did you do?" I couldn't answer. A detective led me to an interview room, small, grey, with a single camera blinking red in the corner. My reflection in the glass looked like a stranger. Split lip, dried blood, one shoe missing. They read me my rights. I didn't fight it. An hour later, Chief Harlan came in. I recognized him instantly. The same sharp jaw as his son, but older, harder. His eyes were stone. "You hit my boy 3 times, he said, voice low. "And now he's lying in a hospital bed because of you." "He hit me first," I whispered. "Don't talk." His tone didn't rise, but it cut like ice. "I don't care what story you've built in your head. You're lucky you're a minor." He slammed a folder onto the table. Inside were still frames from the arena security cameras, each one time-stamped, grainy, fluorescent. In one, Jax's arm was clearly raised mid-swing. In another, the slap landed. Then the punches. Then the fall. He stared at the images for a long moment, jaw tightening. Then he closed the folder. "Get him out of my sight," he told the detective. 2 days passed before I saw daylight again. They ruled it self-defense. The footage saved me. Witnesses confirmed Jax had started it, that he'd hit others before. But the story still spread. News channels, local feeds, the whole school. Teen brawl at Trampoline Park leaves one hospitalized. They said I was violent, unstable, dangerous. Jax recovered. A concussion, a hairline fracture, no permanent damage. But his father filed a civil suit anyway. It got settled quietly months later, sealed records. He was banned from every SkyJump in the state. I was suspended from school, sentenced to 100 hours of community service, and grounded for the rest of the summer. Fair trade for a ruined night. Meg got probation for the knife, but the court saw it as defensive intent. We both knew he'd saved my life. I spent most of that summer working at a local rec center, mopping sweat off basketball courts and cleaning up after kids' parkour sessions. It was ironic, me teaching them how not to lose control. Sometimes, late at night, I'd replay it all. The lights, the slap, the sound of skull on steel. There was no satisfaction in winning a fight like that. Only static. Only guilt. Then came the message. 6 months later, on a random Tuesday night, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "I'm 18 now. I'll find you when you're not a kid anymore." A J. No emojis. No punctuation errors. Just that. I deleted it. Blocked the number. Tried to pretend it didn't mean anything. But that night, I dreamed of dogs barking in the dark, flashlights sweeping through trees, and a wolf tattoo glowing under red light. 10 years later, I tell the story now on a camera instead of a courtroom. 10 years older, 10 times more tired. The YouTube thumbnail says, "I almost lost my life over a slap, the SkyJump incident." 12 million views. Comments full of people saying they've been there. 1 second of rage, one mistake they can't take back. I sit in my little gym studio now, the same one where I teach kids parkour and breathing exercises. There's graffiti on the wall that says "Control your flight." I make them repeat it before every jump. They think it's a slogan. It's not. It's a warning. When the camera light blinks red, I start speaking. I was 16. Thought being tough meant never backing down. Thought pride was worth bleeding for. That night, I learned the difference between being angry and being destroyed by anger.